Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions.
Hello and welcome to ETMarkets CryptoConclave. I'm Naloni Bhatt. Blockchain is one of the most talked about technologies right now, with the potential to drive major changes and, as many say, create new opportunities across industries, from banking to intellectual property and healthcare. Now, to help us understand the future of blockchain and digital assets, we have with us Avinash Shekhar, CEO of ZebPay. Avinash is a chartered accountant by training. His experience stretches across retail, telecom, and luxury goods. Before ZebPay, Avinash was CFO at Urban Ladder, which was an omni-channel furniture and home decor brand, which was acquired in 2020. Avinash, thank you so very much for your time today.
Thanks, Meloni. Thanks for inviting me here.
All right, it's widely known that blockchain has many uses. It's not just restricted to crypto. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people believe in the potential. To start off, can you tell us some of the use cases of blockchain that you see as becoming widespread in the future?
Yeah. So actually, Meloni, I have a slightly different take here. When we talk about blockchain, actually, we talk about blockchain in two contexts. We talk about obviously centralized blockchain,
right,
and obviously it has many use cases. It has potential to improve many institutions which are run on a centralized basis. Okay,
right.
But then there is decentralized blockchain, and that's the revolutionary technology we are talking about. And when we talk about decentralized blockchain, which is permissionless, which is open, which is censorship resistant, which is immutable, then we're talking about blockchain and crypto together. I mean, you can't like separate the two, basically.
Yeah.
You can't use one without the other. Otherwise, it will not be of any use, so to say. So what are the use cases we can think of let's say this decentralized blockchain along with crypto? There are some obvious ones. We talk about finance is one field where it's like first use case we are thinking of, or which is like already adoption is happening. You can transfer value from across space and time without a trusted third party, which is a very, very big, I think, leap or progress, I believe. But then there are other areas wherever you have centralized systems, you can actually decentralize it and do it much better and in a way which is better for the users. Okay, so for example, decentralized social media, decentralized, let's say, messaging app, or decentralized, let's say, telecommunication, anything, art, all the digital assets we're talking about, art, photography. So there are many, many use cases, and there are many use cases, more importantly, which we have not thought of actually till now. Because, for example, I mean, who knew like 20 years back that internet will enable us to have like a real-time conversation, virtual conversation across sitting like thousands of miles away. So there are many things which no one has thought of, which will come in future. But right now, what we are doing is we are basically building an infrastructure on which many, many things will be built.
When Bitcoin was created in 2009, the idea was to remove the middlemen. That is with regard to currency and money, because there was a massive distrust in institutions post the financial crisis. Is that the core idea still in the crypto space? Is that the ultimate goal when it comes to digital assets, or is the future looking very different from what Satoshi Nakamoto had?
In fact, actually, that vision is more relevant today than ever. I believe. I mean, today's cancel culture, if you see, which is happening, and you see, the point is that wherever there is a centralization, there is a potential of misuse of that power, because the power gets concentrated in the hands of few. Okay, and at some point of time, you will get people who are good, who have the basically benefit of larger population in mind, but there will be people who are either incompetent or bad intentions. So at some point of time, all centralized systems are prone to misuse. What the decentralized technology, which Satoshi Nakamoto actually invented, is doing is that it is decentralizing that control. The control is no more with the one party. There is no single point of failure, so to say, and that actually opens many gates for innovations. Okay, so I think it's much more relevant. We are just that innovation, the revolution is just starting, I think.
How dependent is the future of blockchain and digital assets, something that's set out to be free from third-party controls, on the right regulations from the government? And this may seem a little a paradox. So is there a balance that needs to be struck between innovation, accessibility, and safety, for blockchain to thrive?
Yes. So actually, I think both the regulators and the industry needs to work together to ensure customer protection, to ensure safety of retail customers. Okay. Having said that, regulations have always been behind innovation and technology. So I don't see technology stopping and innovation stopping because government is taking time to build regulations. In fact, there is already, and it's not a single country technology. I mean, if country X doesn't provide the right framework to ensure on one hand customer safety, or investor safety, but on the other hand also to encourage these innovations, the technology will move to another country. I mean, there are already Singapore bringing regulation, UAE bringing regulations, US talking about that they want to make sure that US retains its competitive advantage on the technology
China
side.
banning crypto.
China is, I think, is a wrong example. I mean, I don't think any democratic country has moved in that direction. Let's put it this way, because blockchain technology, the decentralized technology, inherently is a democratic technology. It basically gives power to the common man, the common users who's using technology. So inherently, I think decentralized technology is compatible with democracies.
So does that give rise to this whole thought process that crypto is bad but blockchain is good?
So I think I said in the beginning that it's a very big misnomer. I mean, you can't have
one without the other.
Without the other, because you can't run. You need a fuel to run the car. That fuel can be like fossil fuel or this other technology, this EVs, but you need the fuel.
There is a thought which says that cryptos thrive in a weak institutional environment. So when a strong democratic system deteriorates and the public's trust in state institutions is diminished, that's when cryptos emerge. Maybe that's, coincides with the rise of Bitcoin. Would you agree? And what are your thoughts?
So two things. One is that it's a safety plug. Okay.
It's a hedge. It's a hedge.
And anywhere, if you see, I mean, there are countries where that hyperinflations are happening and people are actually using crypto to buy bread and their daily necessities. Having said that, I think finance is the first industry which crypto is disrupting. Let's put it this way. I said that wherever you have centralized institutions, social media, for example, I think decentralized social media is going to be next very big thing on in as far as the decentralized technologies are concerned. As a user, I mean, let's say if you're sitting in your living room and you're talking, you have invited few guests and you're talking to them. Would you like a centralized agency to monitor your conversation and then say that, okay, this is wrong, you should not have said this, and in a way censor it, so to say? Obviously you will not like that. just because that conversation between friends and relatives are moving online doesn't mean that it gives an authority to a centralized power to arbitrarily do anything. And when I say that, I mean, obviously, sometimes they are right, sometimes they are wrong, but should they have that power? And decentralized social media, I think, will, and it's already happening, will provide an alternative where you can have 10 people, 20 people in a group. You can do whatever, you can discuss whatever you want to discuss. You make your own rules, you make your own red lines, not to cross. There is no centralized person who's interfering in your discussion.
But then,
Similarly,
yeah,
who owns that? Who owns that? For example, if I'm tweeting something, if I am creating an art, if I'm who owns that? Who owns that post? Who owns my, let's say, followers? If I become very popular singer, okay, on YouTube, and I have 1 million followers, YouTube owns that, or I own it? Tomorrow, if I'm a Russia resident, have no role in anything which the government is doing. In fact, I'm against war, but I'm still being punished. Okay, so I think decentralized technology is a hedge against abuse of power, whether it is financial power or any other power.
But there is also this argument which is made that, who controls, say, for instance, hate speech? Who controls, pornography, for instance? Where are those rails going to be brought in? And, how are you going to ensure that bad actors and all the negativities that Web 2, which we see on Web 2, do not sort of come into Web 3? So who's going to enforce all of that?
So actually, the thing is that enforcement mechanism is already built in decentralized technology. If you look at in the finance, okay, when you transfer 1 Bitcoin from person A to person B, the task of verifying that transaction generally in a traditional system is done by the centralized party. In the decentralized system, it is done by the decentralized users who are involved in that. Okay, and I think that is much more effective than giving that power to an arbitrary third party, basically.
How much do people really control? Because a lot of the crypto projects, I mean, there are whales who control most of it, and lower down the pyramid, you've got a very thin layer of people who are actually participating, and that is a real concern. So the centralization, how is it going away?
So actually, again, the thing is that centralization is like, and decentralization is not absolute. Okay, it's a journey you are making towards it. Obviously, a new coin coming tomorrow is more centralized than, let's say, Bitcoin, which is there for a very, very long time. Okay, so that's a journey you have to take, basically, I think.
Okay, Avinash, I think this is almost my last question. Signal app creator Moxie Marlinspike, he's written a piece saying, my first impressions of Web3. Moxie describes the current status of Ethereum, on which almost everything relies on layer 2 solutions, resulting in a re-centralized system in which, because all the dApps use either Infura, for instance, in order to interact with the blockchain. And, it is a security problem, privacy problem as well. And then, of course, we saw the impact of it, in Venezuela recently, when the MetaMask wallet was not available in certain geographies because Infura was reacting to some order of the US government. Which again brings me to the point and to the question of how decentralized really blockchain and Web3 is.
Yeah. So again, I repeat it. I said that when I talk about crypto, I talk about primarily Bitcoin. Okay. Within crypto space, you have to distinguish, as I said, that there are projects which are commercial projects who pretend to be decentralized, basically, and then they are actual decentralized technology. So you have to actually, I mean, it's a journey. You have to travel that journey. And if, let's say, Ethereum fails, or Ethereum is not able to solve that problem of decentralization, I'm sure there will be another app or another, let's say, decentralized technology which will come and replace Ethereum. Failure is obviously part of innovation. Most of the startups eventually fail. So I am confident that the direction, at least, which we are going in the right direction, and ultimately decentralization will win.
All right, and more power to you. Thank you very much for your time, and we wish you and your organization the very best.
Thanks, Meloni. Thanks for inviting me here. It was really nice talking to you.
Very nice talking to you too.
Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions.